Hi guys, how is it going at Consumer Influence and Diffusion of Innovations? Um, I'm just working on setting up my camera as we are waiting for others to join in the video. I'm losing people. Okay, I hope everyone can hear me. Okay, that's good. Um, so I had a slight issue with my camera, so I'm just sorting that out while we wait for some of the other guys to join in. While we're waiting in, just wondering how many of you had the chance to go to Google Classroom. There is a quiz now online on Google Classroom. Oh, so you need to go online to Google Classroom. There's a quiz that is there. Okay, so a few people, yes, have seen it. Good. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to start recording the attendance also from this class onwards, um, because there's two things. One, obviously, we want you guys to come and engage in um, in the online activities, so you kind of feel part of that academic community, and we want you to obviously learn what we're doing. Um, Part of the learning is listening to the lectures. I know lecture is a bit more one way, but then after the lecture, we do have the question answer sessions on Skype or Zoom chat. So you have an opportunity to discuss the questions and answers afterwards. I try to give you my own knowledge from the stuff that I've done. Yeah, we've got the PowerPoint slides. There's a lot of experience that's going into it. Things related to the lecture. So if you miss the lecture, it would be important ensure that you go and listen to the lecture again on YouTube. Now the thing is, everything's online now. So if you miss a quiz, that's it. You missed a quiz. The grading, um, you know, for you to go and take the quiz, you have to do it online. It is marked online, and the grading is done automatically online. So there's no way for a teacher to try to change grades or add somebody's grade later on, which is quite good, I think. It makes things more transparent and clear, but then at the same time, it uh, I think makes it more fair for everyone. Um, Obviously, we talked about this earlier. There are no exams now, so the exams, the assignments, assessments are all online. So it's very important that everyone uh, logs into the Google Classroom and does the assignments that you have been assigned to do. So if you're having problems with the Google Classroom, accessing Google Classroom, please contact the administrator at the university. They should be able to sort it out for you. That would be the head of the business department, or the guy who's in charge for IT, or the business school admin guys. Contact everyone. issues related to the Google Classroom, but I think s- let's see, is it Shahid? Shahid has had that issue resolved. Shahid, who resolved your issue with the Google Classroom? Do you have an email? Oh, okay. Uh, so not someone from the university. So colleague helped you out. That's nice. Thank you. Okay, guys, I'm just trying to sort this thing out. As you can see, once again, um, issues with technology, I guess, is part of the game now, uh, because that's the way, you know, how things are going now, all tech related. So yeah, there are issues. There's no doubt. I'm no expert in this stuff. Uh, I'm sure most of you aren't experts in this stuff yourselves. So what we try to do is we try to make the best use of it. That's why all of our lectures, besides going live, they're being recorded. So in case somebody misses it, you can um, watch the video at a later time. Um, Alternatively, best to get it sorted out now. Get registered. If you're not registered at the moment, um, solve the issues as soon as possible. That's all I can say to you guys. The Google Classroom is online. We have a quiz which I have uploaded. The quiz is worth 10 points. And actually, I've got 32 people who have turned it in. So that's great. Excellent job to the people who have done it. There's still a few people remaining who have not done it. So all of you buffoons who have not done it, uh, go ahead and make sure you get that done. There's a deadline for it. I gave an extra deadline, which was a few. Yeah, those people who did the quiz. How attendance issues? Okay, how do we do the attendance on this thing? That's a good question. Um Okay, so I'm trying to sort out the uh, attendance bit. Uh, if you go to the classwork section on the Google Classroom, that has a bit for attendance right now. So you can go in and you can record your attendance there right now, or after the class, or by the end of today. Um, for the quiz that I've given, the deadline is Friday, I believe. But there'll be another quiz today after this class. So after every class, there will be a quiz, and the questions of the quiz will come from the lecture that I deliver online. So it's important that you guys try to listen to the lecture, so that the learning bit is happening and your great work is also being recorded. Okay, I think we will kick off uh, the lecture for today. And the lecture for today is as follows. Today we're looking at um, influence, consumer influence, and the diffusion of innovations. Um, this is an interesting and important topic within marketing, and um, not only is it an important topic in marketing in general, obviously for consumer behavior, it is a very important topic for you guys. Um, so, without further ado, let's kick off this topic. Um, and what I'm going to do is swap the slides like so. This comes from chapter 13 of the Consumer Behavior book by Schiffman et al. Um, so please do read the chapter if you have not done so already. If you don't have this book, no worries. Like I said, any book on consumer behavior will do, but make sure you are reading the topics as we go along. Um, so, um, who are opinion leaders? We talked about consumers being influenced by others. They were being influenced by their family members, they're being influenced by friends, social media, so on and so forth. Now, within this whole are people, it could be one person or more, who informally influences the consumption actions or attitudes of others who may be the opinion seekers or opinion recipients. So it's somebody who goes out and tries to influence people's consumer behavior, right? And as we know, consumer behavior includes things from seeking the information, the purchasing of the goods, the using of goods, and then disposing of the goods. Um, we now, with the advent and the more popularity of social media, a lot of these opinion leaders are actually based on social media. So we have a lot of people on social media who have now become opinion leaders. I believe I talked about this earlier. There was a 7-year-old kid who's made like $7 million just from YouTube, right? On how to use the toys or how to play toys, how to get it started. Um, who is he? He's an opinion leader. So yes, celebrities are part of that opinion leadership bit. Um, and like I said, social media has become a big part of that. Just to give you another example, um, we've seen, for example, Pakistan 2010s, to mid 2010s, went through this huge period of turbulence because of related stuff. Now, it took them a while, the terrorists, um, and when they got the terrorists under control, what wanted to do was the tourism department and the government wanted to bring back tourists to Pakistan. The problem was because of so much negative publicity, had come about in the media, especially in the Western media, that a lot of foreign tourists were too scared to go to Pakistan. So tourists coming in to the country. So that is, the number has gone up from literally, I think, 100,000 to 2 million in a span of few years. How did that come to be? So what the government actually did was they invited uh, travel bloggers and Instagram, celebrities and YouTube stars, people who go and travel all around the world, and they are the opinion leaders for travel and tourism. A lot of these people came to Pakistan. Almost every single one of them had great experiences in Pakistan. And what did they do? They shared those experiences on their social media channels. And result was that opinion that these people had formed had an impact on the general population in all around the world, um, on their social media followings, as well as some of the prominent mainstream media picked up, I believe, by the British Backpacker Society, and then a year later by a prominent French travel magazine, and so on and so forth. Right? So opinion leaders, it makes a big difference. Celebrities obviously are there, but in the age of social media, everyone or anyone can become a celebrity, right? Anyone and everyone can become someone who influences the uh, you know opinions of others. Okay. um, Opinion leadership, there are three key people in this thing, right? The opinion leader is the person who's giving the opinions to other people. So if we take the example of social media, these are the people who are posting their videos, they're posting the pictures, they're telling others about it. Then there's the opinion receiver, and then there's the opinion seeker, somebody who is seeking information, but then the receiver might not be necessarily who's intentionally seeking information, but they receive that information. So if I reshare a post of someone on my Facebook page, anybody who sees it is receiving opinions, but I'm the one who's actively seeking, the opinions on where to go for holidays from these people who are good at going on, holidays all around the world, who've made it their business to go on holidays around the world. There's some special issues we need to consider. Opinion leaders are 4 times more likely to be asked about things like political issues, 3 times more likely to be asked about computers or investments, and twice as likely to be asked about restaurants. Okay. Um, Opinion leaders, this is the opinion leaders within our own social groups that we're talking about. So these are not necessarily the social media celebrities that we're talking about, but these are the people who are the opinion leaders within our own group. So an opinion leader would be within your family circle, within your friend circle, within your own close knit social circle. It could be online, it could be in person. Information seekers seek a strong tie source when they know little about a topic. So people who are seeking information are the ones who are trying to find out from someone um, who has more knowledge than they do, right? Um, and weak tie sources when they have some knowledge. Okay, so people who have got some knowledge about a topic, then they might not form a very strong bond with the opinion leaders, as opposed to when they have little knowledge. So when you have little knowledge, you try to create a stronger bond with those people who've got more knowledge. So, for example, if uh, if I go for um, to certain countries, then I'm not really going to listen to the people, the opinion leaders about those particular countries, for um, seeking information about travel and so on and so forth. Um, if we continue with this, um, there's something called pals and surrogate buyers. Okay. Um, it's not necessary you'd have somebody who fits into this category, right? Um, but a lot of us would do this when we go out and purchase a product. We might have a friend or someone accompany us to buy that product or something. Women oftentimes will go shopping with their friends. They tend to do that more than men. And it's not necessarily seeking their opinions, but that could be one of the aspects of it, that you go with somebody because you're looking for their opinions on what they think. So you want to buy a new dress or whatever, you'd go with somebody who perhaps you feel has got more knowledge about the topic, or somebody who has got similar tastes to you, who could give you a second opinion. Surrogate buyers, on the other hand, are professional buyers who help consumers with their purchases. Now, I've seen this in departmental stores, um, in the UK, in Dubai, and other places. So where you go and you can book a professional person, an expert. So, for example, you're going for a wedding. You need to get a dress for the wedding. Um, you might not be, you might not feel you're very good at purchasing the right type of clothes. So what do? You'll go to a store and they'll have a shopping assistant, as they call it. You'd ask the shopping assistant, and what these guys would do is they would go around, they'd ask you a few questions, they'd based on your likes and dislikes, they would suggest clothing, jewelry, accessories, shoes, whatever to you based on their professional expertise. And these are what we call surrogate buyers. Big business now is becoming more popular as people become more fashion conscious. There's so many brands out there, so sometimes it's very hard to know which brand is doing good stuff, which brand is not doing so good stuff, what colors to wear, so on and so forth. But these guys would do that. Um, for the young ladies out there, for the women out there, um, you would know this when you go to a makeup store, right? They are the experts who are sitting there, or they're supposed to be experts, right? And they're supposed to help you purchase the makeup, right? And they would guide you. Oh, you've got this type of skin type. You should use this type of, makeup, this brand, this shade, so on and so forth. Those are the people. They're the surrogate buyers. They help us make decisions. So, what's the difference between the two? An opinion leader and a surrogate buyer. Well, the opinion leader is really an informal relationship. Okay, it could be somebody within your close circle, or it could be somebody on social media that you follow, or it could be celebrity, or someone of that nature. Information exchange occurs in the context of a casual interaction. On the other hand, the surrogate buyer, there's a formal relationship usually. Um, the surrogate buyer is someone who is often hired by a company, a brand, or you might hire someone to help you make the purchase for you. The information exchange in the form of formal, okay. Opinion leaders often do not get paid, whereas surrogate buyers, they do get paid. Again, different people could pay them. The surrogate buyer would have a higher level of accountability. On the other hand, opinion leader would have very little accountability. Um, the surrogate buyer would look at you specifically, so it's more of a consultative role. They look at you specifically, and they would give you choice of products and services that you could go for. So those are some of the key differences. There's a whole bunch of differences. There's that you can have a look at. It is really important that you guys read the chapters that or the topics, at least from any book. But please do read those, because that's going to help you understand. Someone called a market maven, individuals whose influence stems from general knowledge, or market expertise that leads to an early awareness of new products and services. Um, I was listening to one of my videos the other day, and I've noticed like I've mispronounced so many words. I don't know. It's just I think this new form of teaching that we're doing. There's more topic talking from one side, at least in this bit. So yeah, I think a bit more than in the normal sort of thing. This is also a good chance for me to see how many of you are actually, those of you who are live right now, listening to me, because I can see the chat going on the sideline, uh, or people have just logged in and um, they're out doing the other stuff. I don't know. So yeah, those people who messing me on chat, thank you for letting me know. So, like once again, a market maven, individuals whose influence stems from a general knowledge or market expertise that leads to an early awareness of new products and services. So these are people who are really into certain things, right? Um, they're they have expertise or they have interest on certain type of things, and what happens is they would be more likely to have information about new products or services about that particular thing than others. There's always somebody in your friend circle who's really into automobiles and cars and stuff, right? So if you want to purchase a new car, find out about a new model, you'd maybe look at this market maven who would have more information, because you know what, they're into cars. There's always somebody who's really into technology or tech and things of that sort. There might be somebody who's into fashion, somebody into biking, I don't know. So they know more about bicycles and products, new brands of bikes and new kit and gear that would go into a bicycle. So what are the motivations behind opinion leadership? The needs of opinion leaders. Okay, why become opinion leader? They want to do this to reduce their own post-purchase dissonance, and we talked about the purchase dissonance earlier. It is the dissatisfaction or the conflict that might take place in your mind once you've purchased something. It happens sometimes to people, and for some people, it happens a lot when they purchase a product or service. You're confused. You're not sure whether you've made the right purchase decision or not. So by telling others about it, what happens is you reduce your own post-purchase dissonance. It could be for tangible personal benefits. Um, it could be because of high levels of product involvement, and it could be there could be a message involvement in this thing. Other factors in this would be motivations for the opinion seekers. The seeker wants to obtain new product or new usage information. So we've got a new product. How do we use it? Okay, just to give you an example, I had a DSLR camera. Okay, the DSLR camera, you just take it, you go out and you take pictures, right? Uh, but I got new usage on this, which was to connect it to my PC and use it as a high definition webcam when I'm delivering these lectures. To reduce the risk by getting knowledge. Obviously, if you don't have knowledge about a product, a new product or service, and you want to go, you want to reduce the risk, what would you do? You go and seek information from people who are opinion leaders, and to receive the approval of the opinion leader. So maybe that's somebody who you look up to. That's somebody who's part of your social networks, social group. By purchasing the same product or service, um, you would get approval from the opinion leader, right? Um, reasons for effectiveness, reasons for the effectiveness of opinion leadership. Well, why? How would somebody become an effective opinion leader? Well, first of all, they have to be credible. You've got to have credibility. So, if you're not a credible person, obviously, your opinion leadership would be in question. uh, you give both positive and negative product information. So you'd say, oh, well, you know what? You can buy this phone. It's got these great features, but then these are the problems with this phone or whatever. Those people who give both the positive and negative aspects, they're more likely to become effective opinion leaders, because what that does is it tells the person who's receiving the information that the information that we're getting this person is not a spokesperson for this product. He's not, or she is not a brand ambassador for the product. They're actually giving us the right advice. They're identifying the negative as well as the positive aspects of the uh, the product. Okay. Factors leading to positive word of mouth. Now, word of mouth is what? When people talk positively about a product or service. Now, word of mouth can be negative as well. If you go and talk negatively about a product or service or a brand or stuff. Now, why is word of mouth important? Um, if you look at this slide here, word of mouth actually leads to the likelihood of somebody repurchasing a brand, a product, a service. Repurchase obviously is part of the brand loyalty or corporate loyalty bit that is there. Okay, so where does the positive word of mouth come from? Okay, there are individual factors, obviously. There's personality factors, self-confidence, sociability, and social responsibility. There are attitudinal factors, people who've got positive feelings about a brand, a product, a service. Um, and then there's the involvement, how involved you are in a particular product. And then there's situational factors, purchase decision involvement, um, as well as the proximity of others. So all of these factors help lead to a positive word of mouth. If you have positive factors coming in, people are more likely to give positive reviews about a brand, a product, a service. Um, Obviously, within this thing, there's many other factors that we have not listed here, um, such as the experience a customer has with a particular brand organization, um, the the quality, and so on and so forth. All of those factors are mixed in within these things that are listed here. Um, Word of mouth in action. So, what are you most likely to ask about or seek information about from your friends, family, and so on and so forth? So, a survey which was done by Business Week. It's a popular business magazine. For those people who don't know, this is a bit 2002, but I'm sure things haven't changed all that much. Restaurants was about 70 pounds. Computer, hardware, software, electronics. These were in second and third place, respectively. Travel was 22%. Cars and automobiles were 18% of the thing. I know my video has frozen. Don't worry about that. I'm going to sort that out in a bit. But you guys can see the slides. That is the important thingy, right? Um, so, financial services. So the financial services includes getting insurance, uh, loans, things of that sort, right? Those are all part of the financial services bit. Okay. Um, so those are the things. Real quickly, those people who are online, who are chatting right now with me, listening to the live lecture, what information are you likely to seek information about, right? So if you could just type it out on the side and let me know what are the things that you are interested in. Um, I know myself, I've seek I seek information about restaurants. Perhaps I also seek information about travel. Um, so some young ladies out there talking about makeup, yes. Um, Cars, okay. I don't personally don't go too much for the technology stuff because I think maybe I've got a little bit information about technology. So consequently, I feel compare products myself. My previous IT background, um, so I rather go online and read about the products and specs myself rather than asking people. Okay, so we're getting a lot of restaurants, yes, clothing, accessories, watches, electronic products like phones, yes. We're getting cars, automobiles, quite a few people, yes. Tourism, okay. Sports, is that sports goods or is that um, sports venues. What do you mean when you talk about sports? Okay, so I think restaurant seems to be the most popular one we're getting here on the chat. If we move on, we look at the profile of opinion leaders, right? There's certain general, these are all part of the general attributes. So people who are innovative, that means they're more likely to go and purchase and try things. Uh, People who are willing to talk about those things. So there's people who try and use these products, but they're not really willing to talk about them. And then how much self-confidence you have. You know what's interesting? One of the biggest challenges I had was actually going live on this online video channel. It's very interesting because um, I'm a person who goes and delivers talks. I speak at conferences. I away from CEO level people all the way down to frontline staff. I'm good at that. But one of the most interesting and one of the most um, difficult things for me was to sit in front of a camera and talk. That was just a self-confidence bit. I don't know. For me, that was something that was a bit challenging, right? So that's something that I had to get over. Um, Again, that's something that a lot of people need to work on in different areas. But the opinion leads self-confidence. And category-specific attributes include your interest in a particular um, you know category of things. Um, so some people are more interested in cars, some people are more interested in electronics, some people are more interested in stamps, whatever, right? Um, you have to have interest in that particular product or service as compared to someone uh, on the other side. Knowledge or expertise. You need to have some sort of knowledge or expertise about that product or service. Um, the next bit is, you know, usually it's people who the same age group, relatively in the same age group, people relatively in social status and social exposure outside the group. So those are some of the factors that are important to look at when we are looking at the profile of an. Usually, it's a two-step flow, two-step process. A communication model is opinion sources who in turn interpret and transmit this information. Okay, so an opinion leader would go and get information from other people. It could be mass media, or alternatively, it could be from. Multi-step is a revision of the traditional two-step theory that shows multiple communication flows. So there's many different flows of communication within this thing. Um, So the two-step flow of communication would look something like this. You have mass media, which gives, which is disseminating information. Opinion leaders get that information and then they pass it on to the receivers. There's other stuff that is happening here. So mass media is giving information to the opinion leaders, and the mass media is also giving information to the information receivers. Then the opinion receiver and seekers, there's an exchange of information that is going on between the opinion leaders and the receivers and seekers. So the person who's the leader is also learning from other people, right? Learning from other people who are using that product or on this thing. That is something that about in the chapters or in the text about this. This is quite a lengthy topic, so um, I I important bits within this opinion leadership and marketing strategies. So the important bit, why does the opinion leadership matter, right, to marketing strategy? We want to identify and provide samples a lot. So what happens is opinion leaders, they so IT companies, what do? The opinion leaders, when a new app or software or program is launched, what they do is they give something called a beta version of that the opinion leaders, they then use this software, um, app, or application, learning about the product or service, and then they use design programs to stimulate opinion leadership. Okay, so we want to design marketing programs that will stimulate opinion leadership. Ads simulating opinion leadership. So you would see television advertisements, and you would show a person who would be an opinion leader telling other people on how to use or purchase the product. We want to create opinion leaders. How do we create opinion leaders? Well, one of the ways is by supporting people who have interest in your product and knowledge, helping them become experts in that, um, and then helping them become popular by giving out the target. It could be their social media target, or it could be the immediate market, and control negative word of mouth communications. That's something that we need to do. So if there's negative word of mouth, we need to sort it out. Trouble with the internet, is there? I'm getting somebody who's saying that they're having trouble with the slides and stuff. Is there anybody else that is having issues, or is it just one person whose internet connection is a wee bit slow? Okay, so um, I'm getting questions about is buffering. My video is not on. So if you're talking about video, what about the sound? Teaching online. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can change to a different internet connection. Uh, s- okay, I'm gonna see if I can change to a different internet connection. Uh, if I can switch that back on. Just gonna turn on the video here for those people who are having issues seeing me. Nope. Okay, give me a second. I'm going to see if I can reboot this. Said, and you should get these interesting um, colored lines on the screen. Please bear with me. I'll just try to see if I can fix this. Okay, let's see if I can sort this out now. Um, okay, hooray, the video's back. Next, uh, bring in the slideshow. Okay, so are you guys getting the picture now? Is it a lot better? So I hope the issue has been resolved. A lot better? Okay, good. Actually, the funny thing is, this is the last slide that we are going to do for today. Anyways, um, the next bit we will continue from next week because this is, like I said, quite a large chapter to begin with, right? So um, we were talking about controlling negative word of mouth. So how do we you know control that? Um, there's something very interesting I saw, and as Microsoft was working on this system where it would go and search all publicly posted messages. Um, so it would search hashtags and it look at certain keywords that relate to Microsoft. So anyone who had a public post anywhere on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and so on and so forth, it would search it out and it would get that feedback. And it would see if anyone is saying anything negative about Microsoft or its products. When somebody says something negative, the system would show them what sort of negative things they were saying. So, for example, if there's a lot of people who are saying, "Oh, you know what? I was using Microsoft Word and I cannot put in a table. It's crashing," for example, right? So, what that would do, it would help Microsoft identify problems um, that the system or the software might be having, and they would fix it, and then they would send out the updates automatically, so people would have fewer problems. So that's one way how Microsoft was, controlling the negative word of mouth um, amongst the um, its customer base. Obviously, you want to check out other negative word of mouth also, and we do that through good customer service. That's something that is very important. Making sure that customers have good customer service. Sometimes post usage, the product has problems, like the Microsoft example. Uh, the product had issues, so what you need to do as an organization is to get feedback, continuous feedback, either through surveys or if you've got some software or whatever. But what you want to do is you want to get feedback from your customers, um, to see what are the issues that they might be having, and if there are negative issues, then you want to solve those negative issues as best as you can. So in today's lecture, we looked at opinion leaders, the importance of opinion leaders, um, and how marketing companies should tag into those opinion leaders and utilize their expertise or help build their expertise for their own benefit, obviously, to so the opinion leaders are out there and they're helping promote our products and services around the world. um, Next, what we will do is we'll move on for those people here live, um, to our um, to our class, um, to our question and answer class session. So I'm just going to post a link for that in a bit for you guys. Don't forget, after this, I will be posting a quiz online for those who are on the VLE. Make sure you um, make sure that you do the quiz. It is highly imperative because that's how you're going to get access to. Sorry, that's how you're going to get your grades this semester. Okay, so I am creating the Zoom meeting as we speak. I'm going to end the stream and I'm going to uh, paste uh, the link here with you guys in a sec. Um, mhm. So just copying the URL, here it is, and that's the link for the Zoom. So the link for Zoom has been sent. Um, those of you who are online, please log in online, click on that link, and join me on Zoom so that we can continue with our uh, class.